Now, the UK government has launched a campaign warning international students not to overstay their visas. More than 10,000 students have already received direct messages from the Home Office, and more notices are on the way. Officials say the move is in response to a sharp rise in asylum claims from former students, nearly 16,000 in 2024 compared with far fewer just 4 years ago. The Home Office now rejects unmerited claims more quickly and warns that those who break the rules risk deportation. The government has also shortened the post-study work period for graduates from 2 years to 18 months, part of its broader push to reduce illegal residency and misuse of the visa system. Now, let's bring in Okiki Adeniran. He's a lawyer for some perspective on how best to navigate this path, especially given Nigeria's high student population in the UK. Okiki, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Why do you think so many international students are turning to asylum applications after their visas expire?
Well, thank you for having me. That's majorly the reason why the students have decided, to stay back, overstay, at the time when their visa expires, is basically economic factors. And for some of them, before they left the shores of this country, and even for other countries too, most of them had, sold their things and, they had disposed of valuable things. And for them to come back, they're probably coming back to nothing. And most of these people, thought that at the time they were leaving, that we're going to get something good at where they were going, and they're probably going to even get a stay. So basically, economic factors, some of them do not have the financial capacity and capability to come back to the country to start all over again, just the way they left.
Okay, so Kiki, I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but do you think that there are legal advisors actually encouraging this route, or is it being used as a last resort for, to remain in the UK?
Well, I feel that, yes, there are legal, advisors advising them that they should even use that route, like go through the means of, asylum and for them to stay in the UK. Yes, the law provides that they can, apply for that if just in case there is insecurity or they feel that they are not safe in their own country. In the international thing, 1951 UN Convention, supports this, and UK is also a signatory to that. And even domestically for the UK, there are a couple of laws, that support, someone who is not a citizen to apply for asylum in that, in the country. The Immigration Act of 2024, seek for asylum. But the thing about it is that in seeking for asylum, what are the things they're going to be saying? For some of these people, right, they do not really have cogent reasons. And that's why for most of them, after applying, you probably get a refusal. And if you look at the numbers are so so high to the extent that you have almost like 41,000 applications,
Mm-hmm.
And the question to ask is, why do you want to stay? Just like I've said, economic factors. And that's just basically what it is.
Okay, so Kiki, from your first submission, you said that, well, they sold things, they have nothing to come back home to, and that's why they apply for asylum. But wasn't that their initial intent? From the beginning, from the start, was it actually for academic progression or actually as a route to find a way out of Nigeria? And if education is that route, then they'll take it and eventually perhaps maybe modify their intention as they go. Don't you think that is the case?
Well, I do not think that for some, that's the case. For some, that's not the case. Because in this, if you look at it and look at the statistics, at the time we had this wave of leaving the country, a lot of people, in fact, you will be amazed that certain persons who will probably not even enroll for their masters here in Nigeria, enrolled for masters abroad. And basically what they wanted was because the UK at the time was, taking in both the applicants and the family. So, they saw it as a way to move out of the country and seek for greener pastures. And for some of them, well, it's been good for them. Some have gotten good jobs and, they've been able to get their employers to apply for them to stay, while some have not been able to do that. They are done with their education. In fact, for some of them, they still cannot, finish paying their tuition. And for some, the best way they would have probably go through, in applying to, have for a post-study and even to probably go for their PhD, they cannot even do that because they do not have funds. So, basically, it's two ways in the sense that for some, they went there for, to get more educational, qualification. And for some, it was just a move for greener pastures.
Okay. All right, so is the UK government's use of text and email warnings legally appropriate or ethically sound?
Well, for me, I believe that the UK using text and using email, I think it's not bad. It's good in the sense that for some of them, when they got the visa, they were sent emails. And those emails were the things, that they had filled their email addresses and they got the email for them to pick up or to come, for their visa. So I don't think there's anything wrong in the UK sending them an email to let them know that your stay has expired, you need to leave, right? So if they have done that, it's the best way. And even for some of them, you can be too sure that because they've overstayed, they probably, have changed addresses, things they cannot really, link or look for them. And the best way for them is to, send them an email to let them know that at least we expect that to check your email. Let's give you this first-hand information that you should leave the country before enforcement takes place.
Okay, so can overstaying or applying for asylum after visa expiry affect future immigration applications in the UK or other countries?
Certainly, yes. Certainly, yes. This applying for visa of different countries, it's basically your travel history. You probably have to, need to have a history of your, travels to the extent that country can, trust that if you come into their country, you will leave. Where a person has overstayed his or her stay in a particular country, you can be too sure that it will be part of the record to say, oh, you have overstayed at this time. So they probably, even if the person will be granted visa, they will probably still, give that kind of, probably still think about it again, have a rethink about it, to the extent that when this kind of thing is done, you can be sure that that country that, the person was overstayed probably, will probably not give the person a visa. In the case of UK, you have, ban from 1 to 10 years. And once there's that kind of thing on someone's record, you can be too sure that by the time you're going for an interview at the particular, embassy, even if you mention, it means that, okay, we have to be very careful just in case this person would probably not return back to the country.
Well, Okiki, Adeniran, I want to say thank you very much for joining us with your expert opinion on the matter. Thank you.